So what should I do? Should I cry? Crying is not going to help, so might as well laugh. Laughter is a unique trait that only humans have. Aside from the laughing hyena, the animals do not have the ability to laugh. Laughter is a gift that God gave to the human beings. And it's such an important part of life, is to laugh. Well, you laugh when you're happy. Happiness is a fundamental ingredient to serving God. Like King David wrote, serve God with joy. Laughter is a result of joy. When you are in a joyous mode or mood and you hear something funny, you laugh. Laughter is a bodily expression of pleasantness, of easiness, and of happiness. We find the very first laughter recorded in the Bible is when Abraham told his wife Sarah that even though they are elderly people in life, Sarah was 90 years old, and God said that you are going to have a child. She laughed, and she actually named the child Isaac. Isaac in Hebrew, the word is Yitzchak, which means to laugh. And Isaac grew up with that name because his mother laughed when she heard that at age 90, she's going to be able to have a child, through which the Jewish nation was later created. Isaac was the progenitor, who from him came Jacob, came the 12 tribes, and the Jewish nation has begun from there. So the gift of laughter started from the beginning. Throughout Jewish history, you find comedy has been a very important part of our culture. It's almost second nature to always have comedy. And the reason is, not only does it make you happy, but you're making the other person happy. In the Jewish religion, we have been brought up to always think about what can you do for the next person. Our whole life, the compass, is what can we do to lift the next person's spirits up. When God said, be a light unto the nations, means being a light to everyone, doing whatever you can to bring happiness, to bring joy, to bring laughter, even in the most dire situation. That has been our mission from the get-go. And this is why you find there's a lot of comedy in the Jewish culture. I want to share with you a story that I heard from a rabbi. His name is Rabbi Mendel. He was sentenced to 14 years in the Siberian Gulag because during the Stalin days in Russia, because he was assisting and helping the oppressed to be able to be refugees, to leave Russia into safer havens. And then he was caught, and then he was sentenced to this 14 years in Siberia. And when he came out with an amazing spirit. And he was always there to make people happy, even in the worst of times. So someone asked him, how did you survive 14 years in the Siberian gulags and still come out laughing? So he told over a story that one of his jobs in the hard labor camp was to ride a horse and wagon. So he was taught how to prepare the horse, how to harness the horse, how to harness the wagon, and how to ride it. But before they let him do it, they put him through an exam. And they asked him, what do you do if the horse's front legs sink in quicksand? So he says, I go to the back and I tickle the hind feet, and then the horse will instinctively pull his front feet out. So it's okay, what happens if the hind feet fall into quicksand? What do you do? He says, well, I go to the front and I tickle the front feet, and then he pulls out the back feet. So what happens if all 4 feet are sinking in quicksand? What do you do? So this Rabbi Mendel answers, I don't know what you do, but what I do is I run around the horse and I look in his face and I begin laughing as much as I can. And the examiner says, "Sir, you answered everything correctly, but this last one doesn't make any sense. Why do you look in the horse's eyes and laugh?" And he says, frankly, hypothetically, if all 4 feet are sinking in quicksand, there's nothing anyone in the world can do. So what should I do? Should I cry? Crying is not going to help, so might as well laugh. And that was his attitude that helped him survive those 14 years in the gulags in Siberia. At every situation, crying, despair is not going to help. So why don't you just laugh through it? Laugh through life. Dance through life. Always cheer up the people that you are around. Find a nice joke to say. Find something that's going to cheer them up. Do something funny. Because laughter is an important ingredient to survival. And true, the Jewish people have survived thousands of years of oppression. Most of it through comedy, through laughter. Of course, through studying the Torah and praying, having faith in God, and staying close to each other, looking out for each other. But to keep us through emotionally, that was the laughter. There was once the great prophet Elijah the prophet appeared at a marketplace, and he asked someone, "Who do you think from this group of people are going to go straight to heaven?" And they pointed the finger, "Well, he's a very learned guy, he's a saint, this one is an amazing person." And Elijah says, "No," he pointed to 2 simpletons who don't come and pray, don't come and study. And he said, "They're going straight to heaven." And he says, "Why?" He says, "Those 2, they're comedians. They spent the life making people happy. They spent the life making people laugh. That to God is one of the greatest gifts possible. That's why they're going straight to heaven. Because these 2 people were able to make God's children laugh and dance through life." And that is the lesson to all of us. Laugh as much as you can. Truly help people with laughter. Dance to music. Dance through life. Be happy. Enjoy life to its fullest. Because the short amount of time we're living on this world, let's not cry through it. Let's dance through it. Let's laugh through it. Ultimately, when we are in a happy mood, God's presence shines in a much greater way. So let's dance together through life and have as much laughter as you can. God bless you. God loves you. Please kindly subscribe to this channel and pass it along to your loved ones.